Hey, what's up everyone? Earlier today we got October's patch with a bunch of new content, and amongst that, this new event abyss raid called Mystic. In today's short video, I'd like to give you a guide on the fight itself, even though it's not hard at all, so I definitely encourage you to jump in it. I've heard some people, as we were clearing it earlier on my stream, saying that they've spent an hour, maybe an hour and a half there with a pug trying to learn mechanics blind. So in case you don't want to go in there blind, this is a guide on the mechanics. And later at the end, we're going to talk about the tokens and how you should be spending them. So first, the fight itself. There are 3 gates to the encounter, each of them with their own batch of tokens as a reward. There are a couple of things you need to pay attention to. First of all, the transformation into a snowman. This doesn't really do much harm, but it's definitely a DPS loss. You can get transformed into a snowman during 2 different mechanics. One of them is the part where the boss surrounds himself with a circle of fog. The second time you could potentially get transformed into a snowman is during the time when he folds his wings and just stands still. This is a time when you need to stop DPSing, otherwise everyone that's close to the boss will get transformed into a snowman if you keep DPSing. Other than this, there is a prison. You just need to attack people, similar to the Valtan mechanic, for example, when people get imprisoned. You need to take the gifts. You can easily take the gifts from the pinkish looking circles that fall from the sky, and you should be avoiding the purplish looking circles because those do damage and don't have a gift. Lastly, for gate 1, I would like to mention the 2 lines stagger mechanic. The boss just stands still and there's 2 sort of beams that appear on the map. You have to just do your best to use your stagger skills and stagger the boss. So basically attack instead of running away. That's it for gate 1. It's actually very straightforward. In gate 2, the groups get split into 2 different sides. One side is the fire side if you go towards the left, and the other side is the ice side if you go to the right. Both bosses, first of all, have to die at the same time. It would be nice if you would stop DPSing at 1 or 2 bars, depending on how fast you can burst down bosses, basically equalizing their HP, and then kill them. There's 10 seconds of leeway that you have in between killing a boss and then killing the second one. The ice boss has 2 things that you should pay attention to. First of all, he surrounds himself with ice pillars, similar to Kunghelanium. You have to break these ice pillars, very easy to destroy, and then go and do the stagger check that I was mentioning. And the second mechanic is that he spawns a clone of himself. You need to stay away from this clone because it's going to explode and do a large amount of damage depending on the class that you play. The fire boss, this one seems to sort of hit harder, and it's also more dangerous because there's lava on the side of the room, so you should avoid stepping in the lava or staying in there for a long time. But also to be noted, when the boss jumps, you can use your space bar to sort of juggle the CC that knocks you down, and most of the times it's going to knock you down in the lava, so you take extra damage. Don't get me wrong, it doesn't hit that hard. You can use a couple of pots if you want to, and you're past both of the bosses, but just saying, you can avoid this by sort of luring the boss to land in the center of the room so that everyone would have space to dash and avoid this, or use a skill with knockdown immunity. For gate 3, this is a time when the groups get together again. There is a fog in the middle of the room. At first it's larger and then it grows a little bit smaller. You need to stay inside this fog and fight the boss from there, or if you don't want to continuously stay in it, you can go outside, but when you are outside of the fog, you get a debuff where your character dies after 10 seconds of not being in the fog at all. So you can keep going in and out of the fog if you wish to reset these 10 seconds. Other mechanics are similar to gate 1, but there are, for example, some towers on the edge of the room. You can see them marked with these skulls or these heads that appear in Vicas also for the worm phase. You have to kill them because otherwise they are just annoying. And then there's the 2 dragons which appear in the room, in the corners of the room, and during this time, you have to stagger the boss, so DPS it, while the dragons do their little AoE around them. It's very easy to avoid the AoE that they do. Either position yourself on the side without dragons, or stay right under the boss's tail, maybe on the lower right leg of the boss, and do the stagger check here. In terms of the rewards that you get from this fight, there is those tokens, and we're gonna go and check what you can buy from these tokens. The NPC is called Event Mystic Exchange. It's available in any major town, and it is marked with this with this pink icon, same as all the exchange event merchants are marked. This one sells a bunch of weekly roster limit things. These things, you use it as a currency in the other events that we currently have ongoing, which is the food event. For example, this NPC right here exchanges these things that you saw there for interesting things. However, there are ways of getting these ingredients for that merchant from any other piece of regular content that you do, such as Chaos Dungeons or Legion Raids, etc. So these tokens should maybe be exchanged first for the hammer, and then also for the relic rapport chest, in case you still need relic items. You're gonna need them later on with Elgasia, so maybe this is worth buying and saving as a first token, because this event doesn't last that long, until the 16th of November, so you don't have the opportunity to get so many of these tokens. After these are purchased, I would just simply spend on anything that I need on a weekly basis from here to exchange with the other event NPC. This was everything about the event Mystic Abyss Raid. I hope you guys have a lovely time with the new content in Lost Ark, and yeah, I'm gonna see you really soon. Until then, take care and stay safe.